Hi guys. Cheers. Yep.
Hi guys. Cheers.
We are about to start to watch some StarCraft today. It's me, Grast, and we'll be watching the first games, at least the first games that I picked to watch today from the PRÖ-TÖR that Varu, me, Insu, and the rest of the admin team of the Pro League we are organizing. What I've prepared today, it is a few PvZ best of 3 games that I'm really interested into looking at. The first match that we'll be watching is Galen against Satik, and another match that hopefully we'll be streaming is Dim against Navane. Both games are from the PRÖ-TÖR. The first match is from the third round, and Dim against Navane, they played, let me see where they played. They played at the second round of the tournament. At the end of the stream, I'll share the bracket, so I don't want to spoil anyone with anything if you're not tracking what's going on. Yeah, most of all, I hope you can hear me well, at least well enough, and I hope that we'll see some thrilling action today. Okay, so I think we can begin, hopefully. Let me transition. No, first I'll find the replay. Dead Valley is the first map. It's an interesting map, one of the new ones. I think it is also will be played in ASL, which will start soon. Not sure. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Real soon. Dead Valley, it's a map for 2 players. Let me just switch the screen so you can see it. It's, yeah, as I mentioned, a map for 2 players. It's a kind of strange map. I really don't like it, but I don't really have any real experience on it. The main base on both sides have 2 entrances. The first one is blocked with mineral patches. It's something like a backdoor, and the other one, of course, with the natural, it's with a ramp. It's kind of asymmetrical map, but also really symmetrical. We'll see how it goes. Really interested to see how both players will play it. So let's kick it off. And yeah, hi. Hi Hardy. No, I won't match cam them. I won't crash them. Today I'll be streaming. There is this initiative for a little bit lower levels, not Bulgarian. I'm just used to telling that everything that I stream is from the Bulgarian scene, but this time it will be from the European scene. Not the highest of all levels, but there are plenty of people who are getting better and better. And Varu, which is his nickname is a little bit longer, means werewolf, but I just call him Varu. He started this thing, and this is the second PRÖ-TÖR. The first PRÖ-TÖR or tournament, it was held right before the CPL, or maybe at the beginning of the CPL, I'm not sure. There I played, but in this one I decided to step down and leave the rest of the players to show their skills and to see what they can do. So let's go. We are going in. Hello Navane. By the way, Navane, I'm not sure if it is Navane or Navan or even Navane, but that's another topic maybe for the match afterwards. So this is Satik. It's a player from Czechia, and the other one is Galen, which I'm not sure where he comes from. Maybe France, but If I'm wrong, please correct me. It's a PvZ Protoss on the top side of the map. And down there on the right side we can see the Zerg. I'm really curious to see how they will begin, if it is going to be some kind of aggressive play or they'll just want to go for the macro play and a lot of units, a lot of action later on in the game. And this is another interesting thing about this map, that these two assimilators, if you destroy one of them, only small units like Zealots, Hydras or Zerglings can move through. Unlike Vultures or Dragoons or tanks, they won't be able to pass. And if you kill both of these assimilators, the path will be completely blocked, and then the players will be forced to use the back door, which is somewhere here for the Zerg and somewhere here for the Protoss. Alright, so first scout after the pylon, right after the pylon, so this probably means that Galen is going for a Forge Expand build. Opening, here comes the second probe, which probably will build a Forge because the Protoss saw the early spawning pool. Guharski, another friend that I haven't seen in a long time. Hi mate. Again, we're in the StarCraft fields. A little bit of action. The probe is forced to move out, even it was killed. So this probe won't see another day. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now the Zerg wants to see what's on the other side of the map, because you can see that the Overlord is really slow and it will take a lot of time till it gets to the nature of the Galen or his main. The Protoss decided to go for quick cannon before the Nexus, just to be sure that he's on the safe side and won't lose really easy. And there I usually say that Zergs should not skip any Zerglings so early on against Protoss, but this time it was a nice choice by Satik, just because this cannon was so early. This means that the Protoss won't be able to be aggressive for a long time, but he will be able to pass with one Zergling. The drone is dead, but this Zergling will stay inside the Galen's base and will be able to scout what's his follow-up from here. Oh, alright. So relatively quick extractor. This may mean that he'll be going for metabolic boost after the lair, or just to base muta play, which I'm not sure if Galen will be ready in time, but he's doing alright. Things on his side, just his probe move out isn't so fast, but it's okay. Most probably droning, a lot of drones. This Zergling is only 7 health points and recovering, of course. And a nice block with these pros, but they didn't manage to kill it. They didn't call it. That's a lot of lost mining time for the Protoss, I should say. He didn't really need to follow it with those two probes, but he was really insisting on killing it as quick as possible, just to not show him what is his follow-up. And it is a Citadel of a Doom, which means that he won't be going for a Stargate, which is really needed against this early Spire play by Satik. Third hatchery, so it's something like a 2.5 opening for the Zerg, as people name these builds. Okay, so Hardy wants to change the colors of the players. Okay, that's a little bit better. Blue against red is always better. Way more crisp to the eye when observing or watching replays. So we are waiting for the spire to finish, and maybe Satik will have the right amount of minerals and gas to produce 5 mutalisks and a single pair of scourges, just to be able to easily kill any early corsairs at the beginning. Right now Galen is really in the blind. He doesn't know what's coming up against him, which is tough, really tough for Protoss so early in the game against such build, and he will need to put a lot of cannons at his mineral lines just to be able to counter the mutalisks. And now Satik goes for his base. I'm not really sure how Galen will handle this situation. A single cannon at his main mineral line won't be able to repel all these mutalisks. Even the mutalisks will focus this cannon, and really tough spot, especially having in mind that Galen doesn't have any real counter to the muta play. He's trying to produce a pair of dragoons, which probably can kill a single mutalisk, but not much more. And yeah, GG. Quite a quick game from Satik. It was really fast. And Galen is one game behind. Satik earned a nice lead. So the first game goes to him, and we'll be watching what's going on. What will be happening in the second game. Dominator is the map that the Protoss player picked. It's an interesting choice. Usually Protoss players don't feel so comfortable on this map, but maybe he has something in mind. Go. What we are seeing. Satik is at the spot at 11 o'clock, and Galen is at the spot at the 6 o'clock. It's a nice spot for Protoss. It's really easy to make proper wall. I'm not sure if they are playing on the latest version of the map, because on the latest version of the map, the spot at 12 o'clock, Protoss players can build the wall in a way that only 2 units will be needed to block any kind of aggression, but that doesn't really matter. First mistake that I see, that the pylon should be placed here instead of here. Right now Zerglings can pass through this space here. It's not a biggie, but it's something to know and to have in mind when building walls on this position. So again, Galen is going for quick scout right after the pylon, which naturally means that he'll be going for a forge expand opening. Then Satik is going for an overpull. We have the overlord producing some drones. Galen was able to steal 8 minerals. Not really detrimental, but good to have. And now he needs to be careful. The first prop is really important. Just to be able to, first of all, to scout what the opponent is doing, and the second thing that it is useful about is that maybe Satik, the Zerg user, will follow him with the Zerglings, and this way he can delay some kind of aggression from the Zerg really early on, so he can even go for a Nexus opening before the cannon, but he wants to be safe again, like in the previous game. Cheers, guys, for the Tuesday. What better to do than drinking a glass of nice alcohol and watching some StarCraft at this time of the day. So really quick Vespin Gazer, that's really interesting for Galen. He went for the assimilator even before the gateway, but he cancelled it. He really wants to get to these high-tech units as quick as possible, even before it is possible, in fact. So Satik has enough money to produce maybe even another, yeah, here it is, the fourth hatchery. This probably means a lot of hydralisks, completely the opposite from what we saw in the previous game. And now he goes for this extractor. A lot of drones. He'll probably have equal numbers with the Protoss workers. Really quick. +1 attack for Galen. It makes sense to some degree because he has a relatively quick assimilator, but now he will need to delay just a few seconds, but yeah, it is a delay to the Stargate. If he goes this way, of course, he might be skipping Stargate again, like in the previous game, but I'm not sure if he is really so brave to do it after he lost in such an easy manner in the previous one. Okay, maybe 2 gateways. Yep, 2 gateways producing probes. Here is the Citadel, and the Hydra Den is in production for Satik. This is a lazy drone. I thought that all the Zergs are controlled by the Overmind and there are no lazy workers there, but you know, there is always an exception to the rule. An interesting spot for the cannon. Usually Protoss users like to place the cannons a little bit closer to the Nexus, but I guess his real target was this Overlord, which will be able to escape. Satik is on top of his play and he is watching. 3 zealots are moving out, going to Satik's direction. Not sure if I like it really, but he really needs to know if there are Hydras coming or something else, and he will spot the Hydralisks, which essentially means that he will need to add some more cannons at his natural choke. Good positioning of another sunken colony there. He will be able to repel at least 2-3 zealots without any issues. And right now we see some Hydralisk which will try to pressure the Protoss user. A lot of cannons at home for Galen. Didn't really need to place them there. I mean, those two cannons are the equal resource amount of two gateways, and two more gateways could be way more useful in such circumstances like in this game. Nice drone block. Yeah, really well done by Satik. Still, maybe Galen will be able to kill the sunken colony just because he already has this +1 upgrade attack ready so early in the game, and already leg speed kicked in, so he has some fast zealots which will be able to pressure the Zerg on the other side of the map, or at least in the middle of the map. So Satik will feel the pressure and will need to get back. You see this wall here, I really don't like it. Usually you want to have the wall somewhere around here and have space for your units to move through. But it's not so critical right now. High Templars Storm is being researched. And out of control is here. Hi mate, sorry for you, there is no turn today. We'll be watching only PVZs. At least that's the plan for now. And now Satik tries to destroy the cannons, but Galen may just have enough number of zealots and cannons to block the Zerg aggression, or maybe not. The storm is a little bit too late, but he has the needed energy. He just needs to have like 2-3 high tempos, really nice placement of the storm, and now I think that Galen will be able to hold this. What's the next move? Satik doesn't have any additional drones at his third base. He really needs, or maybe he really wants to finish the game so early. But Galen is trying to make sure that he will survive. He is a survivor. Once the armor upgrade is done, the zealots will become really strong against hydralisks. That's usually the the research, the upgrade that we Protoss users like to have against mass hydras. It really allows us to our zealots to survive another 2 or 3 shots more from the hydralisks, which are doing 10 damage, but when there is an additional armor to the health of the Protoss, of the zealots especially, they will just do 8 damage, and then you can just do the math and see 100 HP, how many hits you need to kill a zealot. Moving out, nice micro, but he still needs a few storms just to be able to really kill everything from Satik. The contain is real. Okay, so right now Satik already has 37 drones, and let's see this. On this side of the map, Galen is going for some kind of ninja expo. That could be cool. And now you see dragoons cannot move through this strange wall. Probably Galen will need to kill this pylon, do another pylon here, just to be able to support all these buildings around. Oh, quite cool storms. That was a bit of a misclick, double storming, but Galen has enough of zealots to send Satik's hydraulics home. No upgrades yet for Satik. Right now the missile upgrades for the hydraulics attack is being researched, but it's halfway done, and in the meantime already the Protoss is 1-1. Oh, not there, mate. Just place it here and forget about it. Now this pylon probably won't be able to support the forge. Thankfully there is this pylon which supports at least the gateway and these two cannons. Some nice dragoons, but it's always good to have some zealots just to use as meat shield together with the dragoons against such hydralisk attacks. It's okay, it's okay. I like this that Galen always has some units outside and he's able to scout if and what is going outside of his main 3 bases that he went early on. Now lurkers are into play, and let's see if there is any. Yeah, there is the robotics facility and an observer coming up to the natural. How many? 6 high Templars, that's the magic number for me. Usually people recommend to have 4 high Templars, but it's always good to have an extra storm or 2, or even 4 or 6. But what's more important in cases like this is to have like a few zealots ahead of your dragoons. Satik nicely focuses his hydraulics on the high Templars, and there only 1 high Templar survived, which was in the back. Another 2 high Templars came also into play. They will probably join the game real soon. This Ninja Expo started to look really healthy by this time. While Satik doesn't already have any access to a fort base, we see that this is another lair, which is quite interesting to see. Probably a misclick on his side. He is really not so focused, it seems, or maybe he was too focused on the aggression that he tried to do, and some misclicks here and there. Could always happen. Second naval chamber, already +1, middle spines. That's really interesting. To me it always looks that hydraulics are just spitting acid, but in fact if you have been reading the books or something like that, you will know that in fact hydraulics have needle spines that they throw at their enemies. However, some stray dragoons were made to go home. Galen has a good spot, has a really good number of workers, while Satik had 37 and now he has only 32 drones. I really don't like it, and I'm a bit afraid about his future just because this. Here the hive is being produced. From there on, Satik will probably follow up with a lot of zerglings, which can be really lethal to the dragoons, which are kind of the main part of the army for the Protoss user. And still Satik doesn't know about this base here. He doesn't know anything about the right side of the map. Oops, sorry. And Galen was able to kill all the units that Satik threw at him, and now we see a huge lead for Galen, over 100 limit. That's a lot of Protoss units, a lot of Dragoons, good upgrades, not the best but good. 2 armor is always good to have, especially since the Zerg user didn't go for more or earlier upgrades for his Hydralisks. Here this 4th base for Satik will probably get killed. Satik is trying to do his best. We see that the High Templars are really far away from the main army of Galen. He just now realized what's going on, but he had plenty of soldiers at the front, so he was able to kill all the units of Satik. Also, he will be able to destroy this base. And holy shit, that's some nice zealot action in the nature of Satik. A lot of zealots moved in, killed the sunken colony, also killed plenty of drones. Now Satik added more drones to his economy, but he is really behind now. Huge difference in their limits. Huge lead for the Protoss user in his economy, because this additional mineral only base was taken in the meantime. Sorry for that, but I need my water, or maybe something else. He is looking to get another 2 expands here and there just to seal the deal. Interesting spot to place these Dragoons. Nevertheless, they will be able to spot when this expo is going to be taken. Kind of annoying, I would say, for Satik. Still, he didn't go for this base, but went for this one. It's okay. But at this moment of the game, with such huge lead, I would just go for the whole map. Yeah, take it all. Don't care about anything. Take it all, cannon up, add some more robotics facility, river up, and yeah, get a glass of cognac and say cheers to me. Yeah, if you have some rivers, cheers to you guys. Okay, that's nice. The Archon against a lot of Zerglings is always nice. Quite a lot of damage was done by it. Here some nice run-bys for Satik. I'm not sure if they will allow him to stay in the game, but he will definitely be able to kill this Nexus. He destroyed the chances for Galen to take over this expand as well. The really nice thing for Galen is that Satik didn't know at all about this Ninja Expo. Satik can be really annoying with his Zerglings. Once he gets there, we see 2 armor upgrades, quite nice. Almost the second upgrade for the attack of the Zerglings, and maybe Ultralisks is almost there. But here Galen is going for the 4th base of Satik. He won't allow him to take it one more time. Huge string of Zerglings. No really need for any storms. And this Archon is, let's see, which Archon is the leader of all the Archons. 9 kills, 9 kills. Yeah, it's a tie. It's a tie for the Archons, and also it's a tie for the match 1-1. Galen against Satik. So the next game that we'll be watching is the critical one. Let's see who will get to the next round. It will depend on the result of this third game. Deja Vu, it's the map that Satik picked, a natural choice for any Zerg. I think it's really good map for Zerg against PRÖ-TÖR, and also it is a 4-player map, so if you want to get a lot of expanse all over the place, it's really nice for such purposes. I hope you like the action. By the way, if you have tuned in a bit later to the show, or maybe missed the whole thing altogether, there is a YouTube channel that will be populating with new recordings from these casting events, from the PRÖ-TÖR tournament. It's not really for professional gamers, but everyone is a wannabe, so why don't we say that we are pro gamers? However, Deja Vu is the next map. Let's quickly see how it looks like, because some of you may not know it. It's a 4-player map. The good thing for Zerg against PRÖ-TÖR is this, that the third base is really far away from the natural. You see, it is here. It's really tough for PRÖ-TÖR to secure it. And also the other two things, in fact, that are good for Zergs on this map against PRÖ-TÖR is this choke, or this space in front of the natural. It is really easy to do a huge contain with a lot of lurkers where all the PRÖ-TÖR units will funnel in and maybe die. And if for some reason the PRÖ-TÖR is able to destroy the occupation, Zerg can just go back, just slightly go back, and try to secure this high ground, which is also really hard to break for the PRÖ-TÖR. If the Zerg manages to do a good contain, I assume that will be the thing that Satik will try. After all, he picked this map, but we will see. We'll see, because, and Galen is on the other side of the game. He might try, or he might have something in mind to do specifically for this map. Again, PvZ, it's cross spawns. Upper right hand side we see the PRÖ-TÖR, Galen, and bottom left hand side we see Satik, the Zerg user in this best of 3. The current result is 1-1, and this is the important game. Whoever wins this will proceed in the winner bracket, in the next round of the winner bracket, and whoever loses this, he will need to battle his way up from the loser bracket. And as I mentioned earlier on, I will share with you the bracket view to see where we are standing at. There are some matches to be played till the finals. VAR will stream the semi-finals and the grand finals, probably some important final matches from the loser bracket as well. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. For you to know what's going on and to keep in touch with the rest of the users, there is this Discord community channel server where we are gathering. And something that I may mention about this tournament, there was an MMR cap Uh, there are no players who are ranked above, I think, 1800 points, 1800. So all the players are below this threshold, but after all, this game is so old and most of the users are really experienced in StarCraft. Even at these points, everyone is really good. They know what they are doing, they are moving alright. Just there are tiny small mistakes that we can notice from time to time. But definitely everything that we'll be watching will be at a competitive level. Oh, Inso, hi Inso. Inso the Insomniac. Another Zerk. Like I'm your Protoss, or let's say it this way, your friendly neighborhood Protoss user. Insu is your friendly neighborhood Zerk user. So again, Galen is going for cannon before the Nexus. He really wants to be safe. We see now that Satik goes for 6 Zerglings instead of 2 pairs of Zerglings, 4 of them, like he did in the first game. I'm really curious to see if Satik is going for something like the first game or something like the second game or something in the middle. I suppose we'll be seeing something in the middle. Nice block with probes for Galen. He makes the Zerg think twice about moving in. So no Zerglings will go inside the base of Galen, who is on point with his build, I have to say. He put the gateway, he didn't put an extra quick assimilator that he needed to cancel in the previous second game that we watched. And on the other side here is the third base for Satik, a quicker extractor for him. In the second game he went for 4 hatcheries before he was taking his gas. Now his tech will be slightly faster and maybe slightly deadlier. I don't know. We shall see. And this time Galen didn't go for really quick weapons upgrade. In the previous one he went for the weapons research before getting the Citadel. This might be a small mistake from him, just because he won't have +1 attack and leg speed done at about the same time. He will have the leg speed like, I don't know how long, but maybe 40 seconds before the weapons research is done, or even more. We can track this. Just watch the timestamps when things are done. However, 3 gateways this time for Galen, not 2, 3 additional gateways at his main. I suppose he thinks and knows that Satik won't go for such an early spire play like he did in the first game, so he didn't need to spend additional minerals on cannons at the main base, which allowed him to do this third gateway here. Hi River, nice to see you. Thanks for visiting. Satik is, I should say he is about 1800 points. I'm not really sure, but maybe 70, 50, something like that. And it pretty much depends on the current shape of the players. At least for me, I know that Sometimes I can compete at really high level, but that's not really always the case. More often I'm competitive at maybe 1800 or 1900 at best. Unfortunately, we don't really have so much time to spend on StarCraft and keep in good shape. However, here is nice move from Galen. He makes Satik step back, and now he has the leg speed available. He can maybe crush all the units that Satik has. There are how many? There are 7. 2 more zealots are coming here. He will be able to kill all the hydralisks. And maybe this sunken colony, not sure how many units other than drones will come this way. There are none, just links. Who cares about the links? And this really bad for Satik. Galen picked a really nice and good timing for this attack. A lot of zealots. And the thing that I really want to see is Templar Archives, because okay, this attack was really good. It did a lot of damage, but on the other hand, we see that the worker count is about equal on both sides. So this means that Satik has really healthy economy. Never mind that he is on just 2 bases. He just needs to get some lurkers, which he will be able to do in about a minute from now. It's really important for Satik to survive this minute and to be able to produce like 4 or 5 lurkers, which will allow him to secure another base. And here Galen will scout this one. Maybe he waits just a bit, but he didn't scout it at all. Yeah, he will see it now, and Satik will be forced to cancel it. Really tough spot for the Zerg user. An interesting choice, by the way. We see that the armor upgrade for the Zerg units has been done. The old school way of playing Zerg was always to prioritize the carapace upgrade. Nowadays, Zergs really like to prioritize the missile upgrade, just to be able to be really deadly with their hydralisks. But we see that Satik is going in a different direction. He didn't go for mass hydralisks. He is going for a lot of Zerglings, and the Spire is done with some Mutalisks in production, with just a single cannon at the mineral line at home for Galen. He really didn't step on the production pedal of the probes. I want to see a lot more probes by this time. We are already in the 10th minute of the game. And here are the wingy ducks. A lot of Mutalisks. 11 Mutalisks. They can do a lot of damage. Of course, there are a lot of Dragoons with +1 upgrade for their attack. An interesting choice, by the way. The second upgrade that Galen is researching is his shields. That's strange. Maybe with some more Archons together with Zealots, he will be able to smash a lot of Zerglings, which can be a smart play. But on the other side, we see a run by with some Zealots inside the main base of Satik. That's really annoying. So they're doing something like a semi-base trade. Galen should be a little bit more careful so he can focus those zealots and move them on in the main of the Zerg. And here Galen was, I guess Galen was really sad at this moment. The Dragoons, it takes so much time for them to get back, to be able to secure and defend the... Okay, here are the Zealots. And defend the Nexus. Mutalisks were able to do their job. And now we see 34 against 32 workers. A lead for Satik, but on the other hand, Satik doesn't have additional bases, which can be really tough for him. This Muta survived. It is a survivor. I'm wondering which glass or bottle to take, but let's have some water. It's always good to stay hydrated. Oh, ninja! No pro production for Galen. We see the resources for both players, a lot of minerals for Satik and not so many for Galen, but on the other side Satik doesn't have the numbers of Galen, who has plenty of Dragoons, which in fact can be quite good against anything Zerg at this stage of the game, just because Satik doesn't have Hive and Cracklings, and also Satik doesn't have a really large number of Hydralisks, so he'll probably be able to kill this base over again. But that's the power of the Zerg. They are always able to do like 2-3 bases at the same time and just bet and try to survive this way. Make the Protoss go on the other side of the map while you try to secure and defend some bases on the other side of the map. Yeah. Looks like Satik knows this. Hive is almost done. By the way, really good timing. 14:30. I know from my Zerg friends that they always feel good when by the 14 minutes and 30 seconds they have Hive. It's something like a benchmark for them to know if they're on track with their tech. Of course, it really depends on the build that they picked and how the game happened to be, but it's always good to have. The thing that I really want to see from Galen is to have way more probes and way more gateways. 5 gateways, in fact 6 gateways by the 15th minute isn't a lot. It's a small number. By this moment I would like to see at least 8 or maybe 10 gateways. The more the merrier. And now a huge attack for Satik. He didn't wait for the Cracklings upgrade to be done. We see that it's almost ready, but it will be ready just in time to be able to clear out this base and kill all the cannons and maybe this Nexus as well. But on the other side of the map we see that Galen is going to attack and probably kill another third base for Satik, and from now on it really becomes tough for Satik. But let's see, he may be able in some way in some miracle way to defend this, but it was really crucial to be able to snipe these observers before the lurkers are dead, and we see that the lurkers were dead before that. So now Galen with all his dragoons, which are here, there are like 20 dragoons, he will be able to kill and finish these hatcheries, this sunken as well. A lot of zerglings. These two armor upgrades for the zerglings can really help, but this will happen if Satik has like 20 or 30 more zerglings, and he didn't have the numbers for that. Just 5 gateways, a huge queue, well, not so huge queue in all the gateways, but okay, Guardians in action, and having in mind that Galen doesn't have any kind of anti-air, or at least sufficient anti-air such as Corsairs. That's really neat move by Satik. This way he will completely shut down the nature of Galen just by using 2 Guardians. And he will be trying to kill this third base that Galen is trying to take over again. It won't work, but still this quite neat move. I really like it. Some more lurkers. Just these 2 Guardians saved the game for Satik, at least for now. Two drones on both sides of the map, but Satik doesn't have the numbers to keep up with his economy, and we see how many are these. These are 9 drones there and 8 drones at the natural. It's okay, but we always want to have like 2 more bases and 20 more drones. 1-1 upgrades. Just now the second weapons upgrade for the Protoss is being researched. A lot of High Templars, really a lot of High Templars. He can storm all the Guardians. Even the Guardians managed to kill this natural, the Nexus. I really wonder why Galen has these 2 forges when he is not researching any additional upgrades. He's really low on the upgrades. But after all, he was really busy trying to survive on a low number of workers, which really doesn't allow him to make a lot of upgrades. So the game becomes a little bit slow, but that's a huge army for Galen. There are like maybe 15 dragoons, and we have another 7 zealots, a lot of High Templars. We have 6 together with the army, some more staying behind. Now the Corsairs are in action, and the Guardians were destroyed. Quite nice defenses, by the way. I really like it. Guardians can do extra damage from behind. Lurkers are kind of okay. I mean, their spread is kind of okay. I just would improve like those 2 lurkers, or place them a little bit further from the others, but it's really good position. However, he doesn't have anything to snipe those Sairs and this or any other observers. Like, okay, I should change what I said. A lot of scourges, but they could do a lot more. They had to do a lot more than this. And now Galen may just keep this third base and go straight ahead into the natural and the main of Satik, where he has just a few Sunkians and just a few lurkers. Not nearly enough to block such huge army from Galen. Here we see two Guardians trying to harass the third base of Galen, excuse me. Doing some, doing some damage, but not so much damage. Huge army, a lot of High Templars. A lot of High Templars, really need storms. He can kill everything just by High Templars. Even the hatchery. Maybe not. At least not yet. If the balance council comes into play into Brood War, things may change, but not yet. Alright, so Satik was forced to leave in this game. It was really nice, really. Back and forth, a lot of action, this side, on the other side of the map. None of the players was able really to grow big in economy. The thing is that Satik didn't manage to survive, to defend his third base, and from there Galen just had a lot of army, a lot of units. And again, I want to emphasize on the low number of gateways. If we can see like 3 more gateways and 10 more probes, things could be even easier for the Protoss user. GG. So the result of this match is 2-1. Galen advances into the next round. Hi Navane, I want to ask you something about the next match, because the next match that I'm planning to cast is Dim against you. And I'm really bad with names. Is it Navane, Navane, something else? How can I properly spell your name, your nickname for the next matches? So to feel good about it. Navane, okay, Navane. Sounds interesting. Alright. So the next match is Navane against Dim. It's again a ZVP. In fact, PVZ, because Navane is a Protoss user and Dim is a Zerg. It's a match from, let's see, from the second round of the winner bracket. First map is the well-known, and I really think that most of the people are familiar with it, Polypoid map. But before we continue, I'll do a short break. I got water, I got something else, but I'll go to visit the toilet fairy. Stay tuned and wait for the wingy ducks that are coming up. Hi again. As you can see, I'm cheering for the Protoss users in this one, in all the games, but that doesn't make me biased. At least I hope so. The next thing that we'll be watching is Dim against Navane. The first map is Polypoid. Let me show it to you just in case. So it's a 4-player map, pretty standard. Everybody, I think, is used to it. It's been in circulation for about, I don't know, maybe 7 or more years now. So both players should be really familiar with it. And yeah, maybe we can continue and watch what happened there. Let's go. Go, go, go. So we will have these colors for the players in this game because they play it on something else than top versus bottom, but it's not a big deal. We know that the Zerg is Zerg and the Protoss is Protoss. This is the important part. On the top right hand side at, let's put it, 2 o'clock, we see Navane, our Protoss champion in this game, and on the other side we have the Zerg champion. It's crossbone, so he is located at the bottom left side of the map at 7 o'clock. I'm really familiar with Dim's play. We have played a lot of games together with him. He really enjoys his Hydralisks, but we'll see. Also, I should mention that before the games that Navane shared with me a short story how he started playing StarCraft competitively, if I can put it this way. One of the first players he faced was Dim. I think they probably were on the same team in CPL, Coach PPO League. Whoever is not familiar with CPL, it's a great initiative for new players or just players who are looking forward to improve and trying to get better in StarCraft. Right now it's on pause. I guess the next season will begin after the middle of the year. It usually starts in the autumn. We shall see. And of course, in the meantime, we have this other initiative for the European users that we are trying to drive. It is called EU4U StarCraft Pro League. It's quite nice place with a lot of friendly people who enjoy the game. In the plans there are a lot more things than just these tournaments that we are holding right now. An interesting thing that I'm really looking forward to. I'm not sure if I will participate or cast, but I'm really looking forward to these gaming nights. There will be something like, let's say, 8 players, which will be split into 2 teams. We'll try to split them about equally, and they will face each other in 2 or 3 rounds. The first round will be an ordinary clan war way of doing things. We'll have different sets of players who will need to play against each other, best of 1. The second round will be something like King of the Hill between both teams, and if the result is tie, I mean like The first team won the first round, the second team won the second round. There will be a third round where ace players will be picked by each of the team. They will face each other and decide who will be the winner. So let's get back into the game and see what's going on here. We see third base for Dim. Quite an ordinary play for him, I would say. He's going to do something like 9-7-3, which is an ordinary opening for most Zergs nowadays. It means that they will rush into relatively quick Hydra pressure. Sometimes it results into really strong pressure and contain. Some other times it results into just a light pressure and quick tech up from the Zerg side. It's really up to the Zergs to decide how they go, and it's really up to the Protoss users to see and to be able to scout in time what's going on. We now see that Navane is going for some quite nice Zealot action. He was able to snipe a drone at the third base, so Dim will be delayed at least a little bit. He doesn't want to show his Hydra play yet, but he will be forced to do more Hydras and pressure his opponent in timely manner, because otherwise the the strength of the build will be missed. It's really important for the Zergs to do some kind of pressure, like around 550 to 630, and we are already past the 6th minute. So after Dim is able to block these Zealots, he will need to pressure Navane, who is doing a lot of additional gateways, because these Hydralisks, he is sure that there won't be Mutalisks into play, at least not yet, and he needs to add more cannons at his natural. Maybe Dim will try to dive in, kill this cannon, and maybe he will just get an easy win from here, just because Navane wasn't really careful enough to block and didn't respond to the scouting information he gathered in time. Here he is forced to use his probes there, but a single probe won't be able to help to hold 10 or even more Hydralisks that are coming as well. Just 3 gateways, I mean just 3 Zealots without leg speed yet, aren't really so powerful. Of course the +1 upgrade for the weapons will be done, but not quick enough, and we saw a quick win for Dim. From here on, Navane is kind of behind, and in fact not kind of behind, but he is behind in result. 0-1 for the Zerg player. That was a quick one. The second map, which was picked by the loser in the previous game, will be Radeon. Another map for 4 players. It was introduced about a year or maybe a year and a half ago. What can I say about this map? It is a good map, well balanced map. At first I really didn't like it, but after the introduction to the ladder of some more awful maps, I was something like forced to play it, and I can in fact say that it is a good map. So Radeon is Navane's pick, and let's dive into the second game. Oh shit, I spilled something on my table. We'll need a minute or two. Okay, I'm back. Shit happens. It's a sad day for the Protoss at my house. I hope it is not such a sad day for the Protoss in this match. Alright, let's continue. Let's continue and see what happens here. On the left side of the map are located both players. Upper left side is Navane and lower left side it is Dim, the Zerg user that we saw. He won his game relatively easy with his Hydra Burst. That's really the power of the 973 opening. Because it is really flexible. It allows the Zergs to do a lot of stuff early on and gain a huge lead and traction of their play. And it's up to the Protoss to react accordingly and well enough. So again, Navane is going for a Forge opening. Usually the Forge opening is a bit safer than gateway openings, but on the other side, the gateway openings allows the Protoss users to be aggressive from early on and pressure Zergs. When I would say that when people are trying to level up, or at least when they are introduced into the game, at least from the Protoss side of things, it's better to focus on such openings that allow you to build your game and to transfer into the next stages. And Forge opening is definitely one of these builds. I mean, it's really useful because you want to learn a lot of aspects of the game. You want to learn a lot of situations, how to behave in each of them, and you want to go into the mid to the late game, which with gateway openings it can be really tricky. However, we here see that Navane was able to scout that Dim is going for a not so early spawning pool, so he was able to freely go into Nexus before cannons and be safe, which is quite nice for Protoss at this stage of the game. It's really helpful for us to have this extra fast Nexus, so you can produce more probes, and those like 2 or 3 more probes early on can help us later on into the game. And so, well, you will see the stream a little bit later, at least the recording to it, I bet. So have a nice one from me and from the rest of the people around, I guess. I'm really curious to see if Dim is going for the same or really similar build like the previous one. Hydralisk then. After all, if it is not broken, don't change it. A lot of people go by this philosophy, and I respect that. On the other side, Navane, I guess he knows his opponent as well because he was really familiar with Dim's style, so he will be more well prepared for such aggression from the Zerg, and also he was able to scout everything in the base of Dim, while in the previous game uh, Dim didn't really allow him to go inside of his main, and Protoss was kind of in the dark, didn't really see if he goes for Hydralisks or something else. It's the opening won't exactly be 973, which, as you may know, means 9 drones at the main, 7 drones at the natural, and 3 drones at the third base. But however, the numbers will be kind of the same. After all, here we see 5 and even 6 drones, and 7 plus 3 is 10 drones. So he is a little bit further ahead with his economy. And Navane is going for some extra cannons before the extra gateways. And I guess, or at least I assume, that because Navane was able to scout freely the main of Dim and had some additional cannons, the next possible choice for Dim is to go for a switch. And what else to switch from land to air than to go mutas? So that's something that he may face. So he's going for this target, but in the end he was able to see those additional hydralisks that are going his way, so he is more than careful and added more cannons. I should say that I don't really like the placement of those cannons here, but after all, on this map you can kill the sec and always have this space for your units to move through. I mean larger units like Dragoons, which will be into play a little bit later, maybe. So a lot of cannons. How many? 3, 2, that's 8 cannons for Navane. Almost no chance for Dim to break this. Close to no chance. Maybe if he's lucky, he may be able to kill this gateway. I'm not sure, probably he won't be able to snipe the forge, but it doesn't really matter since the weapons upgrade is almost done. Even it is done now. Leg speed will be done real soon as well for Navane, and this Corsair is gathering important intel just to see if there are more drones there, or Dim is continuing in the Hydralisk production, which he is doing. So I bet that Navane is feeling good about his additional cannons that he built there. And now he can macro up, produce more gateways. That's a thing that really Galen was missing in the previous game. A lot of gateways, and here is a huge dive with Hydralisks for Dim. And we see these Dark Templars do a lot of damage, and since the Overlord is so far behind, they did a lot of damage. Even one of the Dark Templars is still alive, and this attack from Dim will be completely destroyed. No chance for the Zerg, and from now on I'm a bit skeptical about the future of Dim, just because there is no overlord at his third base. Of course there are some overlords at the natural, but there is no real way for him to hold any kind of Dark Templars in there. You see the overlords are far away. He may just be able to sneak in, snipe those drones and run away. Yeah, just 2 drones, but it's okay. It's really annoying for the Zerg to have to deal with this shit. 8 gateways, it's really good number for the Protoss. 8 gateways, really healthy number to have before reaching for the third base, just because you will have plenty of units to be how to put it, to be lethal enough to scare off the Zerg, and also to have the needed meat to defend the third base. So right now Navane is trying to catch if there are any kind of units at the middle of the map. There aren't any right now for Dim, and Dim is trying to transition into mid-game, adding the crucial 6th hatchery, which will allow him to have proper macro, a lot of Dark Templars. If for some reason the overlords die, this won't happen, they will just kill the Zerg straight away, but also just those High Templars, 2-shot Hydralisks do a lot of damage, and also, as we know, the Zealots are really strong against Hydralisks, so he will be able to kill all the Hydras without issues, and Dim is just forced to type GG, and Navane was able to equalize the game. 1-1, it's a tie. So again we have a tie and an important third game, which will tell us who will continue in the winner bracket of the Pro Tour. The third map that Dim has the chance to pick is Polestar. It's one of the new maps in the ladder, and also in ASL, which we are waiting to see real soon happen. For me, this map is quite interesting. I'm not so active lately, but I have played a few games on this one. It's how to name it? It's a dynamic map. It allows us to get a lot of bases. I think all the races feel kind of comfortable on it. There is relatively easy access to a third base here, or even here if you are placed at the upper left side, upper left spot. And also those ramps to the high ground, which is the middle of the map, can be used in really strategical way, and the addition of these high grounds, cliffs in fact, it can become real tricky to engage around them. So it's a game that I'm looking forward to. Let's see how it goes. 1-1. The important game is about to begin now. Cross pawns. Navane is on the lower right side of the map, and on the other side, on the other side there is Dim. Upper left side. So again, the question: shall the PRÖ-TÖR, what I'm talking about? I haven't casted so much in long time, but it's really fun to do. So the important question right now is Dim going for the 973 or something like that in this game as well, and is Navane going for Forge expand or Gateway expand? I assume it is a Forge opening for him. After all, if he feels comfortable with this opening, it's really flexible, provides good stepping ground to get into the mid game. Why should change? Overpull for Dim, quite standard. After all, the result is 1-1. There is no need to rush it. Any small mistake early on may result in a lost series, so I assume nobody will go for some kind of extra shenanigans, like some people say. Even Navane was going for this extra prop scout just to make sure if there is something like 7 pull or 5 pull or 4 pull, he will be able to scout it in time. That's not the case. He saw the overpull, and also that both players are on the both sides of the map. He's okay just to go for a Nexus before the cannons. Usually, if you see that your Zerg opponent is going for overpull, you can go for a Nexus before the cannon, and you can be safe with just a single cannon. Just make sure that you have some like 2 or 3 probes blocking the path of the Zerglings, and you'll be okay. And if you see that the Zerg is going for 9 pull, you should just go for 2 cannons. In case of cross spawns, like in this game, you can prioritize the Nexus before the cannons, but at least at this level I would recommend going for 2 cannons before the Nexus if you see that your opponent is going for a 9 pull opening. However, things are going smooth. Any moment now the natural Nexus for Navane will be finished. He is moving some probes to mine gas, and he needs to move some probes to mine minerals from the natural. While he is scouting Dim, he sees the hydraulics that has been done, or at least is in production. Pretty much the same build for Dim, even his natural, his first additional hatchery was forced to be built at the third base, but it's not a biggie. The only difference is this, that he will probably have slightly more drones at the third base than at the natural, but after all, if you have the right amount of drones at the right place, or to have dedicated drone for a mineral patch, you should be fine. Here this Zealot already has 2 kills. I really didn't see if it killed a Zergling and a drone or 2 Zerglings. Now good reaction time from Navane. He's moving back with the Zealot. Dim is trying to surround it, and in the meantime we saw some mineral walk. So while Navane was in the main base of Dim, he sent out another probe to some of the mineral patches so he can move through to X. You see that when he retreated with the probe, he needed to move around the egg. While he was moving in, he could just pass through the egg. Some additional cannons from Navane. This is to make sure that he survives any kind of early Hydralisk play like the one that killed him in the previous game. And here we see another probe that was able to move through X. So what he did, he probably moved out somewhere around here and shift clicked on the mineral patch after moving out. I mean in the same string of actions. This will allow you to move out with the probe and move in again straight to the base. We see another lazy drone here. Really not natural for Zergs with so less workers than their opponents. Usually Zergs have like 10, 15, 20 workers, and they are really careful to make sure that they're doing their job. A lot of extra cannons. Navane makes sure to survive any kind of pressure with those early hydralisks. And here the difference from the previous second game is that Dim is going for additional drones. He will take up and move forward with his technologies, not so much with his army units and number of hydralisks. And it's up to Navane to read this. After all, he has a probe there. He sees that there is this additional hatchery. Also, he probably saw that there were produced some additional drones. So he should feel safe now and spend more minerals on his macro, on his additional gateways. We see 2 more forges. After all, his forge, the natural, was sniped, so he needs to do more at home. I see that he is searching for the robotics facility. He may be afraid that Dim is going for some kind of lurkers, which he is doing, kind of. But the thing that I should mention, like a Protoss brother to another Protoss brother, is make sure to have another pylon here just to be able to energize these cannons. If the Zerg reads your wall well, he might be able just to snipe this pylon, kill all these cannons, and you will be left with only these 3 cannons. And if Dim was really insistent on his hydralisk production, it could be a tough spot to be in. Like Jin shared this video. I know he uploaded it like a couple of days ago. Pimpest place of Shuttle, and if you know, Shuttle is really famous for his dumb plays. So there is this pimped play where he just had like a single pylon next to 7 or 8 cannons. The Zerg saw this. He sniped the cannon, the pylon, excuse me, and why do you spend like so much resources and don't add this additional cannon? It's okay in this game, it's okay, but it's something that can cost you a lot of games and nerfs. So this is the campaign that Dim is trying to do, and that's a good campaign. We see that the lurkers are spread well enough. It's really important to place the lurkers like a storm away from each other, so no worker will get damaged from storms if the storm is placed on another worker. If you have like worker here and worker here and worker here, you will have a lot of lost health points just for not being careful enough. And after all, the real power of the lurkers is their splash damage from their subterranean spines. Cool. And if you for example send like a bunch of zealots here, they will do a lot of damage from here and here. And if you have them all together, of course they will do damage, a lot of damage as well, but they will die a lot easier as well. So spreading lurkers is a really important thing for all the Zergs against Protoss. Against Tern it's quite a different story. It really depends on the case and the scenario that we are in. Don't need to kill so many cannons. Don't really need to kill so many cannons, mate. But I guess it is okay. More importantly, kill these eggs so you can move out way easier. I have to say that Dim is really late on his third base. We see that he's floating like 800 minerals. If he has, oh, that's a nice storm, meaty one, juicy. Yeah. For Protosses, it's always good to send ahead some Dragoons, have some High Templars a little bit behind them, and don't send everything all together, because all these lurkers will do enormous amount of damage, which you don't want to. And these observers, they should be a little bit ahead, but it's okay, it's okay. A lot of damage has been done by the storms. We see these High Templars, even this one has 5 kills, that's good. This, oh, okay, just 6 kills, but that's good as well. Another juicy storm. Dean was able to miss important moves, and here again we see those 3 lurkers at almost the same spot. If there was a storm on top of them, it will provide the opportunity for the Dragoons to kill them with just one hit. So Navane was able to elevate the pressure from his main. We see a good healthy number of 8 gateways. He is delaying a bit his further upgrades, but it's okay. At least for now he has 2-1, which is really important. Dean has only 1 attack, and he is not researching the second research. And he is not getting a 4th base. Just now he sent this drone, which is good, but I should say it's a little bit late. And now usually Zergs are really nervous at such spots, and they try to act as quick as possible and burrow their lurkers. But what they should do is just retreat just slightly, spread their lurkers, and have a big concave around the potential Protoss move out. But it is okay. It's okay since the Protoss isn't really... He's kind of hesitant, I feel, of moving out, but after all, if you don't have High Templars and Storm available, you cannot be really brave against such Zerg contains. I see, or at least I hear some overlords being loaded. So we will see ninja moves by Dim. He will try to probably threaten the mineral lines of the Protoss, and by this time we see that the main base is almost exhausted, and there is really low number of minerals at the natural. Here Dim masterfully tries to take the attention from those lurkers by doing something like a poke, while those lurkers killed a lot of probes, and in the meantime we see that both players got about equal number of workers. Good. Just there are slightly more than needed drones at the natural, but it is okay. And at this moment I feel that Navane is feeling really nervous because he is really low on minerals. He doesn't have anything mining. Like, okay, he has plenty of probes, but they're not doing anything, and he really needs to get this third base. If he is able to secure it, it will mean that the game will continue. But for some reason, if Dim denies this base, it's game over for Navane. It's such a thin line, man. A lot of resources floating for Dim. He's really late on the fourth base. If he was able to get this fourth base and do a good defenses there, he should feel really calm and not so eager to attack into the army of Navane. Two 1 upgrades, nothing else researched, but after all Navane didn't have a lot of mining probes. That's really important. If Dim had another overlord by here somewhere around with two more lurkers, it could be the nail in the coffin for him, for the Protoss. And again, Dim is too eager to engage the Protoss army so far ahead, while he can just place a spore, like place 3 or 4 lurkers there, do something similar at his nature, or do something similar here, and Navane will feel really miserable. But that was a good donation from the Zerg side, I should say. Fourth base is about to be caught by Navane, and there is this interesting thing about these additional bases for this map. All those bases got reduced amount of gas. Usually the Vespin gazers get like 5,000 gas, and all these bases, most probably because they are so close to the natural and easy to get, all these Vespin gazers are just 3,000 gas. That's something to note and to know. It's really important for this map. But that's for those of you who are not so familiar with it and maybe not so active in StarCraft Remastered. Ooh, juicy storm, but this one sniped almost all of the observers. That's a lot of dragoons. We already have Hive and Defiler mount in production, and just enough number of units for them to stay safe and to make Navane move back. But he is missing some important intel. Like, he knows that this base is getting there, he should try to split like 7 hydras and walk around everything that and kill this base maybe if possible. It's really important aspect of the Zerg play. After all, you have so many so quick units that can be really deadly really fast, and the crackling upgrade, the adrenal glands or claws, yeah, adrenal glands upgrade is being researched. And one more base for Dean. I like it, really like it. Those high ground bases are really tough to break, especially because if you break them, you risk of being surrounded at the low ground, and you could sacrifice a huge amount of units that you just need to send there if you want to break these bases. And you see here Dim, so that Navane is going for this base, so he is trying to move in around him and cut his way there. And now this is the move that I wanted to see from Dim. Maybe a little bit late and maybe not the right way of doing it. Yeah, just a bit late and not enough for it to kill the Protoss. We see that there are some Ultralisks in action and a lot of drones. Really good economy for the Zerg. And just that there are only 2 drones at the, what's it, 5th base. Not such a biggie, but the bigger thing is that there are no defenses here. Like if you had a few lurkers and several hydralisks try to snipe observers, it could be really a place where the Protoss might lose a lot of units. But also there is this base from Navane, which is quite nice. And Dim again, he should know about it. No, he doesn't. But he should. And block it. And right now, Navane was able to kill everything in the middle of the map. That's not really a good spot for the Zerg to engage there, man. Like by the mid to late and late game, the real strong side of the Zerg race is to get strategical points, secure them with just small amount of lurkers, well spread, and try to snipe observers. This is the real power of the Zerg, not facing and engaging the huge Protoss bow in the middle of the map where Protoss might feel comfortable. So, another... Oh, that's good, but I think that I would more like to see is Plague. Yeah, Plague on top of so many Dragoons, which got 100 HP reduced to just a single digit, 1, 2 or 3. It's way better than having the orange cloud and 2 lurkers under it. So, what do we have? Navane has a lot of bases, a lot of mineral mining, finally getting into his final upgrades. Till now he was just 1. On the other side, Dim just got his first armor upgrade, which is a lot, it's really late. I mean, if you are going for such play like Ultralisks and Zerglings, the armor upgrade is really important for you. More bases. Navane is moving back to this base just to make sure that there is no any kind of aggression coming on his way there. Dim has a lot of minerals, a lot of gas. Like at this stage of the game, I really like to have like one control of 8 or 10 Zerglings and a single defiler just moving, maybe Swarm or even Plague or even both of those things. This can do really a lot of damage. Dim is really behind with his upgrades. If he had 5-3 like he has to be by this moment of the game, he will be in way better position and be really more deadly to all these bases around the map for Navane. Almost 5,000 minerals. Great, you have a defiler but no energy. That's not good. I feel that Dim is probably feeling exhausted by this moment of the game. There are a lot of stuff, a lot of things that need to be done, but it seems that like he's not doing anything. A lot of resources that could be spent on a lot of things, like add some defenses here, go for researches here, but I should say that the only real thing that could have won the game for Dim straight away was when Navane was so behind and didn't really have any sufficient mining. If Dim had a single overlord with just 2 lurkers, borrow lurkers here, deny this base, it will be the nail in the coffin for Navane. And now Dim feels powerless. Never mind that he has all the money in the world. Or I'm even thinking maybe the replay is bugged because for so long nothing didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the replay is bugged. 28 minutes. Nothing's going on. Maybe the Zerg went for a cup of tea or a huge glass of wine, 1 liter. I don't know. That's really strange to me. And Navane has almost 200. Some drones moving in, but just 2 lurkers. GG. I don't know what happened. But what happened? I'll go back in the game, somewhere in the middle of the game, and speed it up just to see if something changes. Because the last 10 minutes of the game looked like Dim is not there at all. From here he moved, okay, there was this move, and from here on Dim did almost nothing. Yeah, he's producing some stuff here. Some workers, defiler, okay, and now yeah, maybe something got bugged in the previous iteration. Or maybe not, I don't know. Well, Dim is producing. The game looks a bit different than what we saw a few minutes ago, but still there is no real movement. Workers, everything dead. Storm, everything dead. Zealots, kill a lot of units. They do damage under Swarm, just in case if you don't know. Here the Ultralisks. Yeah, it looks like the previous game. Just the next 2 minutes, Dim decided to give up. Maybe the game is slightly different. Yeah, this Swarm, I don't remember it. Okay, let's see what happens in this. What happens this time? The same game looks different 2 times. However, so another action, but here we see that Navane has a robotics facility with rivers. Yeah, that's a lot more action than what we saw in the previous game. A lot of Archons, they do splash damage and overall kill a lot of Zerg. Some Corsair moving around. Yeah, the game is quite different than what we saw a few minutes ago. Yeah, that's a good attack. But then those 60 drones are only mining from 2 bases. This one isn't defended at all. Just making a drone, but it's too late, mate. You need a spore colony and workers there. There is no chance for it to survive. Those Corsairs are really annoying, killing a lot of overlords. Not a lot, but killing some overlords, which will result in supply blocking the Zerg real soon. And here is the final desperate attack from Dim against the forces of Navane, who has a lot of units, I should say. A lot of Zealots, plenty of Archons, doing a lot of damage. Some nice Storm there, yeah, cool. And yeah, those drones are GG. Alright, yeah, that's more I like it. Yeah, but in the end, the result is the same. Navane won the third game and his second win for this best of 3. And we saw some quite nice PvZ action today, I think. Really satisfied with what I saw. So this is the first stream from the PRÖ-TÖR. Soon we will see some casting from Varu. I'm really looking forward to it. Stay tuned. We'll share some announcements before it happens in the Discord channel. Whoever came late to the party, we will have recordings at YouTube. We just created this new channel at YouTube. It is, you can see under there, somewhere there, no there, but under here. So you can subscribe and watch more StarCraft from the European scene. As I mentioned, we are not top of the top, but we just try to have fun. We play at reasonably good level, and I hope you enjoy the future casts, the future games, the future tournaments, and the action that we will be trying to drive. So, as promised, I'm opening a huge spoiler alert now. If you don't know what's going on in the second tournament that is going on right now, and if you don't want to get spoiled, you should shut down the stream right now, because on the next screen you will see the brackets, so we can together see at what state the tournament is. I think and I hope that by the end of this week we will see the end of the tournament. But as you see, Navane is one of the finalists of the winner bracket. There he faced Vlad from Czechia. So Navane is quite strong player, and he had the opportunity to face Dim in the second round. After that, Dim was demoted to the loser bracket, where he played against Ronin, which is a young Zerg player from France. He's a really cool guy, but I think he's just too eager to get real good real soon, and it isn't really easy to do so. After all, this game is really old. All the players are really experienced, and if you manage to get to like 1,500, 1,600 points, you should know that you're relatively good. After all, you will know almost all of the tricks in the game. You will know all the interactions between the units, and they are not small amount. And you will be able to play around with the pathfinding of StarCraft, which is really a tiresome experience for a lot of people. Yeah. One of my personal favorites for this tournament is Y2 Kid, but we'll see how he performs. I'm looking forward to his play against Galen, who we saw a little bit earlier in the first match today. And yeah, in the semis, Galen faced Navane. I assume it was a neat Protoss against Protoss match there, but we will have to wait for Varu to stream it real soon, probably in the end of the week or maybe next week, because I know that Varu is really busy, especially this week, but he is trying his best to help everyone play in the tournament, organizing a lot of stuff in this EU4U StarCraft Pro League or whatever. And yeah, from me, Grast, I am happy that you came for this small cast, and I hope that we'll have the opportunity to look into more StarCraft action real soon again. So bye guys, see you soon, and good luck and have fun most of all.